Today I'm on the Breaking Bread podcast. Do you know why I'm here today? I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm a die.
Hey, Anthony, where'd you get this podcasting stuff from?
It fell off the back of a truck. We have the king of old school here. To me, that's Porky.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I don't want to.
You don't want
no
to
like disrespect to DJ Vinny Dice.
DJ Vinny Dice, forget it. So DJ Vinny Dice is the godfather
Oh, yeah,
of old
true.
school.
To me, like,
And
Porky's like
Tommy,
the bridge.
Big Time Tommy is the king of old school.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's
No
the old,
disrespect to Tommy.
It's the old school hierarchy. If you look at the old school,
So what, like Porky's like the capo?
I'm the consigliere
If
of fucking old school. You got a question, you ask me, all right? Go get
Well,
your Atari.
one thing is for sure that you're tired.
Yeah, I'm a tie. I love the head shake.
Please.
The head shake.
Shake it
So
up.
like you don't get dizzy.
Oh, yeah,
when
no,
that happens?
definitely. And
Because I go like this and I get dizzy.
You don't see the clips where he's hanging off the side of the bed in the hotel room and he's
Yeah, the best part is I have vertigo, so I risk my life
I was
every
gonna
time
say,
I do it.
if you
Just
can't-
know that.
Porky's doing these in a hotel room. He's on the road, right? He's doing them in a hotel room. He's by himself. He's hanging off the bed backwards. If he slips off,
Do you know what I love about them though? And look, I'm gonna give you a serious compliment here. I love that the way you edit them makes sense. So what I'm trying to say is that it's like crazy. It doesn't make sense, but you make it make sense because the video is crazy.
Right.
I don't know if that makes
Yeah,
if
no,
what I just said
100%.
makes sense, but
Yeah, like it
you're like
brings
doing
it
it
together at
purposely.
the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
gotta,
about.
like,
Like you're
tie
doing
it
it
in.
purposely.
Right.
very
Like,
good.
and you know what? Someone actually made me think about it too. They're like, you know what that reminds me of? Remember back in the day when there was commercials? What's up? What's up?
Yes.
And they were,
That's it.
Yes.
I thought you got it from that.
I was like, oh shit! I never really thought.
I
about
thought you
it.
got it from that.
Nah, I never even thought about it like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know.
What's up?
Here's the real reason why I did it. It's because nobody has an attention span anymore.
Right.
So in my mind, I would say, all right, so how do you keep an attention span? If you keep switching scenes, it's like you just flicked up. It's like you're scrolling. So it's like if it's just a constant move, you know what I mean? Then throwing the slow motion, you know
Yes,
what I mean?
yes,
It's
yes.
like, it breaks it all up. So it ends up being like kind of fun.
Porky's cracked the algorithm. He really has.
Might have figured out. Listen, really, the truth was, I just decided to talk about everything everybody else is talking about, but go the other way with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're talking about, let's just say Norna makes my sauce, I'm gonna be like, yo, why are you sleeving out grandma in the kitchen? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, leave the poor lady
Listen,
alone.
somebody said it.
Let her live her life for the rest of her years. Just let her relax. Cook something for her. How about that? When you cook something for Norna?
More than anything, Porky like says it how it is.
Your nonna at the end
said
of the day just wants you to like have a need
Oh,
for her.
of course, definitely. Instead of her getting her hands.
Well, here's the
dirty.
question: if you're putting your nonna on Instagram to make food, do you still take the $20 when you leave her house?
When she folds it up into like the palm of her hand.
I mean, you gotta.
Take
It's
it,
disrespectful
take it.
not to. You have
right,
to.
right.
You know what I mean?
It's disrespectful to say no.
Disrespectful not to.
What about when they act like it's like a big secret, but like everyone else is getting $20?
You take.
It's like it's only you, but you know it's like
Yeah.
getting handed around.
Don't
Yes.
tell nobody.
Like every culture does it. My grandma did.
And they stick it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Oh no, Grandma, we may do this $5. No, you keep it.
My grandma used to tell me she would only. My grandma used to tell me she would. She was only giving me this, and she could only give my other cousins 10, and then I would find out they all got 20.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yo,
Like she would do it. She would do it. Just be like, listen, don't, because I'll be embarrassed.
Do you know who are the real freaking consiglieres? Nornas.
100%.
Oh,
Nornas are the real consiglieres.
Bro, they were any old Italian, they sit outside all summer long. They watch that.
Yeah, right? They know everybody's life story.
You know
who
how hard
did
it was to
what.
cut out of school? My grandmother living downstairs because I had a 3-family house.
Oh,
My
yeah.
grandmother, my uncle, and then us. Bro, I was cut out of school. Forget it. I get caught every single time. Why you know in school? Oh, they had this thing. You know, you got to make up some crazy story. She's looking at you like, yeah, all right. Like, yeah, we know.
So you're off the boat though. Like a lot of people really don't like. I feel like you don't advertise that as much.
Nah, I don't.
but you're off the boat.
I mean, not me personally.
Well, you know what I mean.
My
Like,
family,
yeah.
Like, yeah, definitely, 100%. Families all off the boat. Everybody came from.
And you're from Sicily?
Yeah.
Nice.
Got Stalim out of their golf.
Oh shit, where Mo's from? All right.
They got quads
so,
over there.
Porky, I'm not gonna lie. There's a specific reason why we asked you to be on this podcast. There's like a specific reason.
There's a very
Porky is the pinnacle of neighborhood legend stories. Pinnacle. Like if there's like a legendary neighborhood story,
yeah.
Porky knows it.
Well, Porky's a storyteller.
Porky,
an
like
entertainer.
that's why I was saying that you're like the median, like you're like the guy in the middle, bridging the old school and like the new school.
right.
So you got to tell us, like, you know, Queens and like how Sal was saying, like all like the old school neighborhood spots, Howard Beach, even Corona. Like, what was it like growing up back then? And like, it wasn't that really long ago, but it was just it was a
so
really
different.
legendary time.
100%. It was different. It was everybody hung out, especially so Middle Village. Honestly, was the shit. Like straight up, it really was. At the end of the day, yo, we had squads. We had more kids in our neighborhood than anybody else.
And
You could have put multiple neighborhoods together to match.
what's his name was in your squad?
Who?
Mo.
Oh yeah.
How did I forget Mo?
Yeah,
He was in your squad.
He's a little unforgettable. You know what I'm saying? Like you sometimes don't even know he's in the room when he's here. You know?
You could miss him.
Yeah, no, he'd be like, "What do you want to do?" I mean, really, how you doing? He's very, very laid back. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't stomp and point at anybody. He's a good guy.
Good guy. Someone was saying how even with the rumbler siren, the people don't move for the police cars. I said, you know what they should do? They should record Mo's voice doing, "How you doing?" And people would their neck would snap.
Bro,
Oh,
that's
it's an ambulance. I gotta move.
You had to see when I was in Ohio. Oh my
Yeah.
God, yo, we come out of this like bar or whatever we were at, and there's like 15 girls on the back of a pickup truck twerking. There's cops right there.
See,
turn the
this
light.
is a Porky story.
Yeah, no,
This
like
is a Porky
100%.
story.
Cops like pulled them over. I don't know if they pulled them over. I don't know why that, but all I know is that when the cops went on the lights, these girls went in, bro. You would think you were at a strip club. They just started wilding out. The cops actually just were like, "All right, we're leaving." Left.
Where
They
did
left.
you go in Ohio?
I was in Toledo. You've ever been to
oh, yeah.
Toledo?
Why is
I've been to Ohio.
Yeah, worst fucking
I've never
place
been
on
to
earth.
Ohio. Toledo's bad.
Horrible. It is literally the worst place on earth.
Wait, so why were you there?
All right, so I was there. I had to shoot a Disney movie.
What?
Eeny Meeny.
Oh, I
Did you
saw
hear
that. I saw that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is very exciting.
Yeah, that-
Really?
yeah,
Porky in
I'm
a Disney movie.
I'm movie star. I'm kind of a big deal.
It's about
Right?
time.
It's incredible.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Is it an animated movie or you?
No, it's a
Live action.
Yeah, live action movie. It's like a heist movie. Yeah, it was actually.
It's a
pretty
heist
dope.
movie?
Yeah, I was supposed to be there for like 2-3 days, and they extended me for like.
Can you tell
a
us
little
what
over-
character you're playing?
Yeah, so I'm basically I'm a burly guy, the Italian guy. I'm the Italian guy, bro. It's funny because when they were dressing me for the movie, right? They come up with this whole rack of clothes. They pull out like shorts. I'm like, next. I'm like, I don't wear shorts in real life. You think I'm gonna wear it in fake life? Not gonna work, right? So they're going through like tight jeans. I'm like, yeah, nah, that's never gonna work. Finally, I see this blue, like velour suit. I'm like,
There you go.
what are we doing with that thing? They're like, oh, you like it? I'm like, that's who I am as a person.
Yeah.
Are you serious? So I ended up putting that on. They're like, well, the director has to clear it. I'm like, he's going to love it. You know what I mean? So sure enough, that's how I did my audition tape in a velour suit. So, of course.
That is the most
So they,
Porky thing
they
I've ever
chose
heard.
you.
Yeah,
based
no,
on
they
the velour.
literally chose me. Like, it was actually a crazy story because my role was filled by like 2 or 3 different departments because it's also a stunt role. So everyone already had a guy for this. So the director, when I made my audition tape, the thing is, my audition tape, I showed my personality in the beginning because how do you show your personality reading 2 lines?
Right.
You can't.
No, I can't.
Right? So I did it in the beginning when you got to say your name, your height, and where you're from. So instead of just being like, I'm a robot, this is, everyone's like, I'm going to be professional, Joe Lombardo. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like the other way.
Wait, so that's
I'm
your
like-
real name, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, thank
Joe
you.
Lombardo.
I want to thank you. Before we get started, I want to thank you for the opportunity. It's an honor. Joseph Lombardo, 5'7", made for movies, right? And then I'm like, obviously, I'm from fucking New York. Now get the fuck out of here, right? Just like that.
You
Then
were
I
like
did-
on Pork Chops. Like
Nah, I
you went
didn't
in
do
there.
the pork chop.
He
but-
he lined it up. You know, this is who I am. This is how tall I am. Now go fuck yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just fun for me, you know? And actually, my credits, it's going to be Joey Pork Chops is like going to be my movie credit.
love that.
That's how
There we go.
Joey
IBDF
Pork Chops Lombardo or just
Joey Pork
Love
Chops.
it.
Now, do you like pork chops or you
I
just
don't
name
eat
yourself
pork,
pork?
actually. Once in a while,
Where
some
did pork
peppers.
chops
You don't
come
eat
from?
bacon?
No, I don't. Bro,
Really?
it's weird.
No
it's like,
swine?
would you eat Sal? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? I'm saying it's a little cannibalistic. I'm just saying.
He's saying that pork shares a lot of characteristics with human flesh.
You don't eat
No,
Does
no,
it?
I meant like if I ate a pig, it would be like you eating a human, right? That's
Oh, because you're
missed-
Porky?
Yeah, you missed it. It's all right.
Oh,
We're gonna move past it.
So where?
okay.
Hold on.
We took it way too serious.
Yeah, they brought it to the next level. They were
We
like,
took it. We're like, we're like,
one time I wrote a
Cannibalism.
thesis.
is this a religious
Uh,
thing?
I would like to just simply clarify that I don't know for sure that human flesh and pork share any characteristics whatsoever. I was
I'm just saying.
almost stating it as a question. I just want to be 100% clear
yeah.
on that.
we
So
thought
we
you were
believe you,
like an
Sal.
animal activist.
Thank
or
you.
something.
So where did pork chop come from?
I had it since I was like a little kid.
'Cause he's delicious.
Had the name. Yeah.
What?
Since I was like a little kid.
You watched the movie Babe, and you're like, all right, pork chop.
Nah, I just had it since I was a kid. Really. It was just, I don't know, it just turned into a thing one day. I don't even know how.
Were you always like a full
That's a cool
figure kid?
nickname.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown into the name from time and time. Like, you know, like I'll grow out of almost like Oprah. Grow into it, grow out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there are some guys that have looked the same their entire life.
Yeah, I
Had
mean,
the
I
same-
kinda did.
Like, there's guys that, you know, you see pictures of them when they were 4 years old, and you're like, wow, he's got the same build from 4 years old to high school to into adulthood.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got like,
Great.
I would lose weight, I'd get in shape, then I get fat, then I lose weight. You know what I mean? I'm
You always had the
yeah, I always had a chubby face. I was
the
never
head,
skinny.
the face.
skinny.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
never like,
The same, right.
yeah, 100% now. I would look weird, I feel like skinny. You
Like,
know what I
almost
mean?
like Spanky from the Little Rascals.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like sometimes I'm like, I need to go on a diet, but then I'm like, I got a lot of money invested in this thing. Like, you know what I mean?
It would be
Like,
weird if you weren't like you.
Yeah, I feel
that
like
makes
I'm
any
funnier when when I gain weight. Usually I'm writing a new set
Yeah.
because I'm funnier when I'm fatter, and then I'll like lose weight to like do.
So you're like a method actor almost.
Yeah,
Performing is really escapism. You know, that's what it is at the end of the day. So if things are great and we're on tour and we're making money, there's nothing to escape from.
right.
You know, so that's when we get in shape, we get our shit together. But then how do we write? How do we come up with new material? I gotta beat the shit out of myself for a little bit. I gotta
Yeah.
really feel like you know.
See, even with me though, material's everywhere. Like
Yeah.
I think like that's the key, right? Everything, even being like a comedian, you know what? Why is it funny to you? Like why is it funny to me? So my thing is to tell a story on why I thought this was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like Ohio. Right? Just like Ohio. Right? Worst food on the planet Earth. Worst. I figured out why. There's no Italians there. Right? Which makes
Toledo's
sense.
rough.
Is
Toledo's
Ohio
rough.
known for any?
No, but Dean Martin's from Ohio.
There are
Youngstown,
Italians,
right?
There are Italians in Ohio, but they're not everywhere in Ohio.
Right. And then the thing is, Dean Martin, but Dean Martin doesn't cook. He was an alcoholic. And, but the liquor there, phenomenal. Bro, how about this? I ordered Grey Goose pineapple, double shot Tito. I ordered like 4 drinks. The guy's like, oh, that'll be $17.85. I was like, no, I'm going to pay for all the drinks. And he's like, that's $17.85. I'm like, yo, your register is going to be short, bro. I'm like, I usually pay $20 for my drink. 4 drinks? So then I'm like, fuck it. How much to buy the whole bar a shot? And he's like, I'll be like $47. I was like, let's go, baby. You got shots on me. I was like, it was the cheapest place ever to buy liquor, but food you'd want to. The most decent meal I had there was IHOP.
Yeah.
Really?
Decent meal I
Really?
had.
When you're in certain
Horrible.
parts of the country,
You would know this. I'm not
you gotta
much.
get used to going to chain restaurants because it's really the only
is.
place you're gonna get a consistent meal.
Yeah, like
You're
decent.
taking a gamble going to like just walking in off the street into somewhere. Like the first thing I do when I roll up into like Farmington, Michigan, is I look up where the nearest cheesecake factory is because I'm like, I want to sit down and eat dinner. I don't want to be
It's true.
stared at.
The locals. I love when people give you suggestions. The locals are like, oh, this is the best place in town. I'm like, have you ever left Toledo, Ohio? They're like, no. I'm like, this food's going to suck. I'm like, because you don't know what good food is. To you, that is good food. To me, that's horrible food.
Is Ohio known for any kind of food?
No. They're not known for anything, I don't think.
Hot dogs and pizza.
Pizza?
So
I
they,
threw up in my mouth just now.
you know, the Detroit style pizza was invented in Ohio.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That whole
Really?
It started in Ohio.
See, what was cool, though, Detroit was like 40 minutes away from where I was.
But yeah,
it's-
you
it's,
get used to chain restaurants in these
Yeah.
middle of nowhere towns because you can't really guarantee yourself a good meal.
No, you can't. Listen, the hotel I was staying at, they had a restaurant, a rooftop restaurant. They're like, it's the best rooftop in town. I'm like, it's the only rooftop in town. First of all, I'm like, there's 3.5 buildings here, right? And they're like, we're a city. I'm like, not
It's
really.
considered half a building.
Yeah, no, it's
Like a 2-story apartment complex.
yeah, it was just like it was ridiculous.
I've always wondered this, but do they have something there? Like, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's called sprinkle cheese.
Sprinkle cheese. No,
Why the fuck
I
would
thi-
you bring that up in the
Yeah,
middle?
we're
of
talking
this
about middle
conversation?
of nowhere, Michigan, and you
Because
wanna
that sounds like
abuse-
a place.
You want to throw it up to abuse Greg.
Does that not sound like a place where they would call it sprinkle cheese?
It does. Listen, we all want to abuse Greg, but can we warm up first? We got,
no, like in
You brought it
Toledo,
up the first
in
time.
Toledo, Ohio, when you get served macaroni, they'll come out and say, "Would you like some sprinkle cheese with that?"
There you go.
Yeah,
That's what I was-
100%.
that's a
Parmigiana. I don't know how they say it.
Parmigiano
Parmigiano. They say.
From the region
or
of crap.
Parmesan.
Do you want some
P-A-
Parmesan?
Parmesan.
That's where it is.
That's fucking sprinkle cheese. Okay, that shit in that green plastic tube
Kraft, Ohio.
where it says cheese product, and you know it's not cheese.
I have to
It's like
post that later, by the way.
fucking cheese flavored.
People are gonna get tight.
It's cheese flavored sawdust, is what it is.
We need
know?
a video where like there's a camera crew on you and you go to another country for like the first time.
Oh, God.
Right?
Embedded.
Right?
Go to Japan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Porky in
You like know what I'm
Japan.
talking about, right?
Porky in the wild.
Yeah.
Porky.
Oh my God.
Yo, we could start off in L.A. That's like another world. Right?
It really is another world. It really is another
Listen,
world.
you know the difference between New York and L.A., right? This is
The speed.
This is the difference.
The difference?
The difference,
There's
right?
multiple differences.
I'm going to tell you really what it is. This is sum it up, right? In New York, if we're walking down the block and someone falls, we'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing? You're not paying attention? The fuck's wrong with you?" But we'll help them up, right? We're like, "Come on, we watch where you're going." We'll abuse them, but we'll help them. In LA, they're like, "Oh my God, I need to." Oh my God, emoji hand. I hope you get better soon. If there's anything you need, just let us know. How about pick him up, bitch? He's right in front of you. Just pick the man up.
So true.
It's like too much work. You know what I mean?
So New York is mean but nice.
Yes.
LA is nice but mean. Like
Correct.
They'll watch you as you fall. New Yorkers like, yo, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Let me help you. out.
If you
100%.
if you stop for directions in LA, you roll the window down and say, "Excuse me." They'll just keep fucking walking.
Yeah,
If
100%.
you stop for directions in
Like,
New
oh,
York, you
fuck,
say, "I'm
all
going
right, this
or
is
they'll
where you
say-
gotta go.
They'll say, "Where the fuck you trying to go? You know how far you are from there."
No, first, come here, pull over.
First of all, you're not
This is
even
what
on the
you're
right-
going to need to do.
You're on a
You
fucking-
got an extra cigarette?
You want an Uptown Avenue. You're supposed to be going downtown. You fucking jerk off here. You're gonna make a
Wait,
right there.
You look like my cousin. You know that? You look like my cousin. You go into a 20-minute
jerk off, too.
conversation. What
It's
do you
so
call
funny.
it? Sauce or gravy? Yeah, if I'm Brock, we call it gravy. You call it sauce. Right here.
New Yorkers are always late. We have no time, no spare time whatsoever. We're in a rush, right?
Always.
But if you stop us for something stupid, we're gonna sit there and talk to you.
100%.
Because we're amazed by you.
We'll
We're
tell you where to
amazed by
go,
how
but
stupid
we'll tell you
can
that
be.
you're fucking stupid.
So I was actually thinking this the other day, right? Because one of the things I hate, hate so much, what people say is, there's no wrong questions. Every question,
Oh,
the
no
fuck
stupid
there isn't.
question.
Not in an Italian
bro,
household,
are you
bro.
serious?
Not in an Italian
Bro,
household.
first of
Every
all, the
question's a wrong
questions
question.
people ask, I don't even know why you're on Earth. I have no idea why you're even here. That's what they make bridges for. That's what I think, right? Because you ask a
bridges?
stupid question, you should get a stupid fucking answer, straight up and down. Like, straight up and down. Like, I don't even understand what the questions that people ask every day. It's just so ridiculous. It's like nobody's with it at all. At all.
You're saying stupid questions are the reason for suicide?
I'm just saying it. I'm just saying they make a hotline. They make a hotline for that.
But they make bridges.
Yeah, they have like a suicide hotline. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should call it. And
They put. If
We keeping
they have they have a sign. This is Porky's proposition that they put a sign on the George Washington Bridge. Right when you're walking up, there's one sign with a phone behind it. That
Do a
says,
flip.
If you're having thoughts of suicide, break this glass and use this phone. It connects you to suicide hotline. Right, and then there's another piece of glass. If you're having thoughts, if you ask a stupid question, break this glass and push this button, and you break the glass and push the button, a fucking trap door just opens underneath you.
yeah, or just don't
Yo,
be a pussy.
Porky could talk anyone into doing anything, right? Like you could just hype people up, like whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
could
All
hype
the
people
time.
up.
Yeah, no, all
Would
the
you,
time.
growing up with, you mentioned that there was a lot of kids in the neighborhood, right? It was very busy. Growing up, would you ever try to convince people to do stupid shit for your own entertainment?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the time. I mean, I would
that
even
sounds
do
like the
stupid
MO.
shit.
What is the craziest
Myself.
thing you've ever convinced someone else to do
It's a great question.
for your enjoyment?
Tell us
and
all the
for
neighborhood
your
stories,
joy.
bro. We want
Okay.
you don't have to name names.
So
Don't name names.
Oh no, no.
but don't-
We can
no, no.
name names. This
Because
is fine.
I want to get into like stuff that you feel that you like. Sometimes you're sitting home and you're thinking,
I made that kid do that.
I wonder where that guy is now that I told to fucking eat that dog shit. Or
I
something.
wonder.
Oh
if
no,
the
no.
kids-
I have a story like that, and I even made up a backstory for it. Right? I doubled down. Right?
Wait.
made
wait.
up.
So
As
in
in
other
it's
words,
not
Porky's
true?
going to tell us a true story with a false.
I don't know if this is gonna make the edit though.
We
It's
need to
crazy
have like
story.
a thing say based on a true story, like in
Based-
black.
Based-
performed by professionals.
No.
Do not do this.
This fictional
Don't do
story.
this at home.
Fictional story is based on a true event.
Yeah,
Performed
there
by
we go.
stunt doubles professionals. Do not do in public.
So there was this kid in the neighborhood. We'll call him Doug. That was his name, right? So
Douglas.
It's already funny. It's already funny.
right? So we're gonna go out. Now we go out every weekend, right? We've been going out for years, this and that, right? So this kid has to like one up us. He's like, I've been going out before you were born. Well, first of all, we're the same age. I don't know how you did it before I was born. Okay, that's fine, right? So whatever. He's going in talking mad shit, right? So now we go to the Sound Factory, right? Not me, but some people might have took ecstasy that night, right? Like,
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't know. It's that type of place. I found out later on, right? So now this kid, he's tripping on ecstasy, right? So I don't know if everyone knows back in the day, but the Sound Factory, it was kind of like, I would say like a gay club, right? So there was a lot of transgender. There was a lot of drag and stuff like that. But that was like the scene back in like the 90s.
That's where the good
2000.
DJs were.
Right. That was like where it was at, straight up, right? So now this kid, actually there was this one girl, she kept walking by back and forth.
Yeah.
So one of my friends kept like kind of like joking around, hitting on her, and then pulling her top down, which is wrong. You don't do that without consent, right? So, but now he's doing that, right? So she just keeps walking by and letting him do this. So now the kid Doug sees this going on. So he's like, hey. So he goes over and he starts rapping to her, right? So the next thing
Rapping?
you know,
Wait,
Oh,
rapping?
yeah, like, you know, kicking
shooting
it to
game.
her. Like, hey,
Yeah,
girl,
yeah,
what
yeah.
you doing?
Mackin'.
Yeah.
What you doing with your titties out? You know, like that, right? So now he goes and he's dancing with her, right? And they're dancing, and everyone's like, you think you should tell him? And then I'm like, tell him what? And they're like, that girl's, transgender. I'm like, bro, what's the big deal? I'm
Yeah.
like, he's having a good time. Let him have a good time, right? Why not?
Let him come
right?
to that conclusion.
So now 10 minutes goes by, he walks over and he's like, yo, guys, is that a guy or a girl? And everyone's about to say, hey. And I'm like, I kind of like got in the middle. I'm like, oh, Doug, are you fucking kidding me? Tonight is your night, baby. Yeah, I tell him, right? Just like that. Because, I mean, she was very pretty. There's nothing wrong with transgender women, right? So he goes, he's dancing with everyone's like, you should tell him. That's wrong. I'm like, it's not. But if you want to tell him, give him 5 more minutes of pleasure and then break the news to him, right? 5 minutes go by. We can't find Doug anywhere. Doug's gone, right? Gone. So now, where do we find Doug? About 3.5 hours later, downstairs, he comes up and we're like, all right, Doug, we're leaving. You ready to go? He's like, yeah, you know? So we go outside and he's like, bro, best night ever. Right? We were a whole bunch of people, right? Maybe like 15 of us, 20 of us, right? We're all bringing girls and stuff. So he's like, yo, best night ever. I'm like, what happened? He's like, remember that girl I was dancing with? Like, yeah. He was like, well, she brought me into the bathroom. She started giving me a blowjob. And as she's giving me a blowjob, some other dude walked in. And we were high-fiving. We were both getting blowjobs. And we're like, dude, I don't know if you know this, but she was transgender. And then that was it. All hell broke loose, right? He went, no. Started banging on gratings. We're like, dude, what's the big deal? It's not a big deal. No one even, like, it's not a big deal, bro. It's only a mouth. That was probably her boyfriend that came in the bathroom. They double teamed you, basically, is what they did. They double teamed the shit out of him. He didn't even know it, but he got double teamed that night, right? That was all set up, planned, right? So now
that was their whole.
Yeah, that was like the whole. That was the whole
their
thing.
fantasy.
Yeah, so
He
now
was their porn.
He's like, all right, guys, let's just go. We're like, pump the brakes. We're like, you have to take a cab back to the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Doug gets a cab back to the
Right. So
neighborhood.
Doug gets a cab back to the neighborhood. Now we're all smoking weed at the diner, and he's like, yo, I need to hit that. We're like, nah, bro. Rip the blunt in half, give it to him. So.
In other words, you're breaking Doug's balls.
Right, yeah, 100%. We're fucking with him, right? So now he's like, he's ready to go home, and he's like, yo, don't tell anyone. And we're like, dude, who the fuck are we going to tell? We're not going to tell anybody. As soon as he goes home, don't forget, it's like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the morning.
You were like
it's Sound Factory.
You were like the Newsies. Like
Sunday morning, we went.
Papers.
We went to every single person's house we know. Woke them up, rang the ding dong. Guys, you gotta come out here and listen to this story. Told everybody the story, right? So now like 2-3 hours goes by, we start calling Doug. Because honestly, I thought he killed himself, right? He's not picking up. Nothing, right? I thought he definitely killed himself. So we go to his house. He's laying in bed. We're yelling, Doug, Doug. He's not moving. Like, oh my God. So now he has toilet paper rolls all on his windowsill. So I start bouncing them off his head as he's in bed because I'm thinking he's dead. I'm just hitting him. Just maybe he'll wake up. Finally wakes up. He's like, what the fuck, bro? What's wrong with you? We're like, thank God, Doug. Thank God you're alive. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, I thought you definitely killed yourself. Like, what else would you do in a situation like this? You have to. Everyone knows, right? And then he moved out of the neighborhood and got a European sex change. He found his calling.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What's a
So
European
Doug is
sex
now-
change?
He got a European sex. He moved to Germany. He got a European sex change.
Oh, it's
So now
different
Doug
over
is
there.
Dougetta, I guess. I don't
What do they?
know how that works.
Wait, what?
What do they do in Europe?
Hold on. Doug is now.
So everything is
Yes.
Wait.
All right, so what I'm hearing is that he knew. He had to know the whole time.
No, Anthony. Porky told you what he was going to do before he did it, and you still missed it. The whole story about Doug is true. The part about him going to Germany and getting a sex change is made up.
That was the backstory.
He goes, I got a made up backstory. So I'm waiting to hear. I'm sitting here waiting
You
to
heard
hear.
part one. You forgot about part two.
I did.
I'm waiting to hear the whole made up part. And I'm like, everything so far checks out.
You ever seen the like Adam Sandler movie?
Anger management.
With Galaxia?
Galaxia.
That's Doug. That's
And
Doug.
he's at Yankee
so
Stadium.
pretty.
He's the security guard.
I can't stop love.
Ladies,
Oh.
gentlemen, gentlemen. I am so pretty.
How long you been doing stand up for?
Now 3 years.
What?
Yeah, and you're on the road pretty regularly.
Yeah.
What's
great.
next for you, Porky? What's next? So, what would you say? Like, you're doing the stand up really, really consistently. You're honestly killing it. Like, what is the ideal next step for you?
I was thinking about becoming a movie star.
I mean, you were in a Disney movie already.
Yeah, that's why
I just pictured like a little animated Porky. Like that's what I thought, like a Toy Story Porky.
Yeah, like acting,
Talking about?
I might have found my calling because I feel like everything I've learned in life up until this point led me to that. Right? Even with construction, being a project manager, running a construction job is basically like running a set. It's the same exact thing. There's really no difference, except the trades are a little different. Instead of having carpenters and lathers and laborers, I have actors and PAs and DAs and you know what I mean, stunt guys. It's literally the same process. You have to coordinate multiple different things at once to make it happen. I would just have to like now learn.
It is a lot like being on a job site.
Right, I have to just learn the terminologies and what to look for
Lot of waiting
as
around.
you're shooting. Well, hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait.
How long have you been doing construction?
Like 20-something years, like 22.
Wow.
Dang.
That is
Well,
very.
I want to talk
Italian.
about your most recent viral video where what would you say? You said, my boss asked me if I'm working. He's like, yeah, I'm working on my Dan.
Yeah, no, I was like, my boss was like, oh, you coming into work today? I said, what are you talking about? I've been working all day. He said, working on what? I said, my tan. Get the fuck out of here. Because I'm a tie.
That's such a union response.
Yeah, 100%.
Union. That's a very.
Yeah, it's like, that goes back to ask stupid question, get a stupid answer. You know what I
on the
mean?
way here,
Yeah.
Like-
me and Greg were saying that it's like very, very like a union comedy thing.
Yeah.
Listen, union guys are the funniest guys.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think you get into any of the trades unions in New York, you're on the fast track to, being if you're smart and if you know what you're doing, if you have it in you, you can become a pretty great stand-up based on the shit that you encounter, and based on the fact.
Here's the thing.
based on the balls you got to break over the course of a
Here's
day.
the thing with construction, what I like. It keeps me sharp, right? Because I'm literally trying material out all day. Because my thing is I'm very conversational. So I'll, in the middle of a conversation, think of a line that I'm using for comedy and throw it out there and see how they react. So it's like I'm constantly coming up with funny little things that I could take and incorporate, switch around, and put into a set or into my comedy. Yeah. Or if I'm thinking, all right, I'll give you an example, right? So when I was on set at the Disney movie, they were talking about like drugs, people they know on drugs. So I'm like, I got to chime into this, right? So I come over and I was like, yeah, I said my cousin had a really, really bad problem. He was hooked on meth. It got really bad, and then thank God he started going to church and he turned his whole life around. But then recently he relapsed, and now he's just basically a crystal Methodist.
And he moved to Germany.
Right? So everyone started laughing because they thought I was being serious, right? So now I threw that out there a couple times to see how it worked. So now I'm like, all right, so I got something. So then when I talk about being in Ohio, because what happens, I took a ride one day. So I went over the bridge. There's like two sides of, I guess, Toledo. And when I went over the bridge, I found out I was in the wrong side of town, which is kind of funny because I already thought I was in the wrong side of town, right? But then I stumble across Paraplegic Alley, right? It's ready. Bro, there was paraplegics everywhere. They weren't in a group, but in like a 2-3 block radius, they were just rolling around. And I was like, why are there so many paraplegics here? It was kind of weird, right? So then I pull over, I go to smoke a cigarette, I'm in front of a church. So now I was in front of the church, I was like, it came to me. I was like, this is where I could use that. Because now as I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette, this guy comes running out the church. There's a lot of meth in
middle of the country.
Right.
Yeah.
So this guy comes running out the church high as a fucking kite. And I'm like, oh, did you just come out of church high like that? And he goes, it's all right, don't worry about it. I'm a crystal Methodist. And kept on running. I was like, what the fuck? But then, you figure out a way to put something together.
Yeah.
That like, it might work with that, but then it's like, how do I bring that? I got to do like a whole thing. With this, it's easier to tie into the story. You know what I mean?
Well, I just didn't know that Toledo had such a big population of paraplegics.
Bro,
And Methodists.
it's insane. I mean, Stephen Hawkins would have been a pimp over there. Like, for real. Like, how
I'm still
he...
trying to process that.
He's a piece of shit. I mean, you know how he got down, right? Listen, I have a whole joke on Stephen Hawkins that I have been abusing him for the last 2 years. People are like, you shouldn't talk about him. He has a problem. I'm like, why? Who cares? Like, you know what I'm saying? The guy's a piece of shit. He literally, I don't know if you know anything about Stephen Hawkins, right? He recently came out on Epstein Island list, right? Which, once again, no, it's you are in the island list. That's how he talked, right? Because I did extensive research on him. So this man, right, cheated on his wife with his nurse. Okay. Then he left his wife of 30 years.
How'd he cheat?
Yeah, this is where the story gets fun,
Push
right?
a couple buttons.
He wasn't paralyzed. He had
ALS.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right, but he was like he could move his finger and shit, right?
Press a couple buttons.
Yeah, like he was to the side, and the thing is, so he
was good.
cheated on his wife, right? And then he left his wife of 30 years. And don't forget, he was a paraplegic for 27 of those years, right? Leaves his wife for the nurse. So when he leaves the wife, he comes out with this tell-all, the wife does, this tell-all expose on how Stephen was very, very abusive. He was, right? He was verbally abusive, physically abusive, and mentally abusive, she
He
said.
was physically abusive?
This is what I said, right? Because this is, I have so
Somebody run her over?
I have so many questions,
He
right?
fucking backed the chair over her?
Right? In my
Put
head,
it reverse, Terry.
I'm like, how was he verbally abusive? Like, was he like, you are a whore, right? Like, she could have literally,
Backspace.
Unplugged them.
right? Like, you could have unplugged his wheelchair, rolled him
Fucking-
into the corner, and said, now you're going to sit in time.
You fucking just pull his HDMI cord,
Right.
and all
Or
of a sudden
how
he's
about
not
this?
talking
He
shit.
spoke with a computer robot voice. She could have muted him at any given point in the conversation. She could have just muted him, right? And the same thing,
Like, fuck you, Steve.
right? Would he physically abuse? Right? Did he run over her toe with his wheelchair? I don't know. Right?
toe.
Did he try to
Fuck
put her in
your
a
toe.
Chinese
A toe.
finger lock? Like, I don't even like.
Chinese finger
Yeah,
lock.
was she like drawing his bath one day and he was like, get in the water, bitch, and rammed her in the tub? Like, I don't understand.
Toaster
And then
oven.
he was mentally like, all right, let's be real, right? This is what she said. The way his eyes followed me around felt like he was scrambling my brain. I'm like, do you realize this man can't even scramble fucking eggs?
Oh, the lady-
Yet he's scrambling your brain? Makes no sense. It's like he's Professor X.
I kind
in
of
his
want to Google
wheelchair.
this now.
Now he's
You
just
just
like,
called him
yo, just
Professor
picture him spinning his eyes like, you are being hypnotized. Like, how could, I don't understand it. I
To the
don't.
side.
Yeah, but
Reverse.
then now it's the nurse, because now let's be real. What the fuck was this bitch into? Really? Like, think about it. Like, did she only want to fuck TikTok voices? Like, I don't understand. Like, now I'm thinking in my head, well, this guy, I mean, he had a PhD in physics, but who knew he had a PhD in real life, right? Pretty huge dick, right? Because why else would you want to fuck this guy? I don't understand. It's like fucking Krang from the Ninja Turtles. Like, straight up.
Dark. I love dark comedy. I don't care what anyone says. Dark comedy is the best kind of comedy.
That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Where do you draw the line when it comes to your on-stage material?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Porky,
dark
Porky,
comedy is the
there's
best.
No
I mean,
He's
so-
thinking about it.
So the thing with me is like I don't really believe in lines. I mean, there's obviously certain things you cannot say, right? But those things that you really cannot say, I don't really think along that line anyway. You know what I mean? For me, it always has to be very inclusive.
What do you think of the Hawk Tour girl?
I mean, you have to understand,
Spit on that
someone
thing.
who spends every day really trying to put out content, be on stage, get into and then I see some girl like Hawk 2 and blows up. I'm like, fuck that bitch. Really? Like, you know how many Hawk 2 bitches I know in life? Like, there is nothing special about her. It's not. Yeah, she's like this cute middle America. Yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
But
what kind of
it's not like I'm
bitches do
hating.
you know?
I don't want to hate either. It's like everybody deserves their time to shine. But I mean, really, this is what we've become as a society, right? It's the stupider and less, the least value you bring to the table, the better you'll do.
I'm
That's
actually
what I
kind
do.
of surprised she didn't get more coverage.
More
More coverage.
Like,
You're getting a lot.
no, news stations, everything.
I
Just
just-
been
Bro,
on
the whole
news
interview,
stations.
the whole interview is 20 seconds long.
Bro, I just seen her on stage with, I
Yeah.
think, like,
That I saw.
Metallica or something like crazy. She's like,
Metallica.
they're like, bam, bam, Hawk
No.
2. I'm like, I was like, yeah.
Blake-
She's
Blake
making a lot
Shelton-
of money.
blow people.
Forbes should call her. Forbes, bro.
She's from Nashville, and she was on stage with Blake Shelton in Nashville. That's a big fucking deal down there.
I meant like a
bro.
news station. Like, oh, Hawk 2
Blake
girl
Shelton's
goes like
more
goes like
important than
viral.
Fucking W2.
Because could you imagine? Listen. Can you imagine you're the anchor? You're fucking Sade Better-Noir. You've worked your ass off to get
Where you
the,
are.
the 10 o'clock spot, and you have to read a copy that says Hawk Tour. That's why it's not on the
It's,
fucking
listen,
news.
it's kind
You're
of.
watching the wrong news.
Listen, it's like
Fair
good
enough.
for you. Like I don't like, it's like good for you. You know, you went viral. It's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all trying to do that.
Daily
It's just-
Mail.
Peter
did an interview
Schmaudio.
with her. I was honestly curious.
Daily Mail did an interview with her.
So I was curious. I'll tell you the truth why.
Peter Schmaudier.
The first thing that went through my mind was like, this girl's got to be making a ton of money. Sure enough, she trademarked it. She's selling merch, all that stuff. She's making a ton of fucking money right now.
You mean to tell me she doesn't have an OnlyFans yet?
That also went through my head.
Yeah, that'll be the next step.
That's the next thing I searched.
Yeah, because
Tool on
you
that
have to
thing.
understand, they're like, there's scavengers and scoundrels in this business. So it's like, opportunity. So they got on her, sunk their fucking hooks into her. It was like, we need to do this, this,
Like,
trademark,
think about it.
money.
Now that nobody knows her real name, her actual name, she's just Hawk to a girl. What does she do next?
She's either going to,
To a hawk.
what they do to everyone, she's either going to come out singing, be a rapper, maybe a comedian. Those are like the three.
Definitely. I saw her on stage with Blake Shelton. I watched that video. Definitely not a singer.
Right, but that's the avenues. It's like, how could we flip this? Let's auto-tune her. Let's run a
Voiceovers.
single.
Bro.
Voiceover
anything.
work.
William Hung had a better chance at becoming a superstar singer than Hawk Tuah.
What did she say? I mean,
Well, they
what
got to
are you
put her in
saying?
something.
What did she
I
say?
don't. Some dented truck, fucking country bumpkin
William Hung
bullshit.
is like-
Yeah, they're gonna have to put her in something.
Yeah.
I mean, she's middle America right
Voiceover
now, so it's
work.
like
Yeah.
Voiceover
she's
work.
gonna, look what happened. Look, I always say this. I'm like, the day Kanye West stepped on stage and did that to Taylor Swift, I said this girl is about to become a mega star because that's middle America right there. You can't fuck with middle America. You just can't. It's like, what? They did that? What? She's a white? No, I'm not. Yep. Fuck that. We got to go support that Taylor Swift. And then, boom, and there she went. It was like, to me, it was almost meant to be. Like, that was like, I think that was staged. I don't think that was.
Would you do a video with her?
Who, Taylor Swift?
No, Hawk Tuah.
Oh, yeah.
I just like my head immediately goes to like, all right, she's got merch, she's got a trademark, but then she's going on an interview saying, I don't want to be the Hawk Tuah girl. Like, I'm sorry.
She's got to say that. She's got to say that.
She's gonna be doing fucking Hawk Tuah at every Monster Jam
But then,
from here to fucking Tucson,
Steve
Arizona.
Austin years.
Bro, she is gonna be at every UFL stadium in the country at fucking
every NASCAR
Monday.
If
Yeah.
I was her, I would be a food
WWE, NASCAR.
Tua,
I mean,
Tua.
she's gonna hit middle America. Like, oh my god, yo! But then now it comes down to like, do you like what do you want to go like? See me, I'm very
Yeah, what do you want to go viral?
right. I want to go viral for me being me. I don't want to go viral for just saying something off the cuff. It's like, do you want to go viral for being a good singer, or do you want to go viral because you fell off a horse and as you fell off, it shit on you?
I don't give a
Like,
fuck
you know
at
what I'm
this point. I
saying?
kind of need the money.
Yeah, like that's like my thing. It's like, you
No,
can
you're
go
right.
viral for anything, but
You want your stand-up reels to go viral.
right, or just me having fun saying something funny, right?
Yep.
Like don't because that's what I am. I'm funny, and I'm trying to be that and portray that, and always, grow with that. 100%.
By the way, just for you today, you see this? You see this? You know what these are?
Make.
Come
You
on.
got Mickey. Walt would be proud
I
right now.
need you next time you're on the
Where's
casting
that?
couch with the mouse. I need you to tell him I want to roll.
Porky, thank you for coming on the show. You're an absolute fucking legend, and I will stick by that till the day that I die. I'll stick by that. That's what I call him. Legend.
100%.
Try.
Porky, I'll never forget going to see you on your birthday.
Oh, it was lit, bro.
Bro, it
I
was
was so drunk
but
that
it was
night.
so much fun.
Oh my God, yeah.
Porky got up for a good hour and just fucking crowd work and riffed for an hour.
Fearlessly.
Just
Fearlessly.
Fearlessly. Broke balls and the whole nine. And especially in front of Mo. Because
I had to go.
Mo will fucking let you know out loud. He will heckle you.
100%.
He will heckle the
Yeah,
shit
I
out
feel
of
like he knows though with me. The thing is with me, he knows I'm gonna fire
you.
back.
So quick.
Yeah, 100%.
He's so quick.
Yeah.
You're one of the best doing it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, appreciate it. Means a lot.